ecosystems, what are the conditions across these ecosystems, and what we as individuals, what we as students can do about these ecosystems. How can we contribute to the health of the ecosystems? But before I go into the details, uh, it is very important to know, what do you mean by ecosystems, right? Why was this topic chosen? Why are people from college or people from research organizations talking to school students? ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है कि हम स्कूल के बच्चों के बीच में आए हैं? हंसराज कॉलेज में पढ़ाती हूँ मैं, मेरे पास कॉलेज के बच्चे आते हैं, तो और डॉक्टर काकरू जो कि एक डॉक्टर हैं, वेटरनरी डॉक्टर, रिसर्चर हैं, जिन्होंने बहुत काम किया है एनवायरनमेंट एजुकेशन को अवेयरनेस में, साइंस साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट को बच्चों में उजागर करने की. व्हाई इज ही टॉकिंग टू द स्कूल्स अक्रॉस दिल्ली और स्कूल्स अक्रॉस दिल्ली एनसीआर? हमें क्या जरूरत पड़ी कि हम स्कूल के बच्चों से बात करें? हम स्कूल के
Sensitize
बच्चों
them.
हम स्कूल के बच्चों से इसलिए बात कर रहे हैं कि बहुत ही एक इम्पॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम है. And government of India has taken some proactive steps that we should conserve our immediate surroundings. स्वच्छता अभियान शुरू हुआ, cleanliness के बारे में बातें होने लगी. People have become cautious because of various reasons towards the environment. Because if a country wants to progress, if a country wants to do well, it can not do well only on account of development. Development is important, of course, but at the same time, environment is equally important. So that's why Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and Dr. Kakru's organization, Millennium India Education Foundation, which is a non-profit, non-government making organization, have joined hands. And me as a college teacher got involved because I feel that it is my duty to talk to the students of the school. When you are in, जब स्कूल में होते हैं ना हम, तो बहुत एनर्जेटिक होते हैं, हमारे आइडियाज बहुत ब्राइट होते हैं और हमारे में बहुत तीव्रता होती है. वी आर वेरी शार्प और हम चीज़ों को अच्छे से समझ सकते हैं और कोई बाउंड्रीज नहीं ड्रॉ करते हम. वी आर वेरी ओपन व्हेन वी आर यंग to new ideas, to new knowledge, and we can also retain that knowledge for longer duration. So that is why school students are our key partners. We want school students to be our key partners. आप के काम करने से ही ये प्रोजेक्ट सफल होगा. अगर आप इस प्रोजेक्ट के साथ जुड़ेंगे तो उसी में इस प्रोजेक्ट की सफलता है. Another thing is that now your teachers must have talked to you about the new education policy. जो नई शिक्षा नीति है उसमें क्या है कि उसमें क्या एक स्पष्ट तरीके से लिखा हुआ है कि जो बच्चे हैं, they should not only be receiving instructions from teachers, or teachers should not only deliver the content, but the students should be equal partners in generation of knowledge, in acquiring the knowledge. How can they become equal partners? आप अपनी शिक्षा का उत्तरदायित्व अपने ऊपर लें. आप ये ना समझें कि सिर्फ टीचर विल talk and they and she'll tell you what you all have to learn. You have to learn on your own. You have to be. When will we you learn on your own? हम कब खुद से सीखते हैं? जब हम खुद से थोड़ा इन्वेस्टिगेट करते हैं, थोड़ा इंक्वायरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं. And when we also learn from our experiences, we learn from our surroundings. So this project will provide a very unique platform to you by which you can learn from your surroundings, by which you will get to interact with your surroundings. What are you doing these days? You are listening to the talks given by the teachers through various learning management softwares, Zoom link, Google Meet, etc. But that knowledge is not sufficient enough you have to interact with the environment. You have to go out of your rooms, move away from your laptops or phone screens, and see what nature is doing. How, nature itself is such an interesting laboratory. What is happening in this natural laboratory? How are things happening in these natural laboratories, in these natural ecosystems? Because there's a lot of chemistry going on, there's a lot of biology going on, there's a lot of physics going on. So through this project, you will also get to understand that nature can teach us many things, which probably you have not been doing till now. So second thing is, when you are doing any project, जब आप किसी project का हिस्सा बनते हो, तो क्या होता है कि आप खुद से कुछ डेटा इकट्ठा करते हो. प्रोजेक्ट होता क्या है? व्हाट इज अ साइंस प्रोजेक्ट? एक कोई भी साइंस प्रोजेक्ट होता है, उसमें कुछ उसमें हमने कुछ टारगेट रखा होता है, कुछ एक एम रखा होता है, और उस एम तक पहुंचने के लिए हम कुछ वी गो कंडक्ट सम एक्सपेरिमेंट्स, मेक सम ऑब्जर्वेशंस, एनालाइज दोज ऑब्जर्वेशंस, infer, draw certain inferences, and then we understand what happened. For example, एक छोटा एक्सपेरिमेंट आप करते हो that आपके ब्रेड में स्टार्च है या नहीं, राइट? तो हम क्या करते हैं, ब्रेड के ऊपर आयोडीन डाल देते हैं, फिर देखते हैं कलर चेंज, तो ब्लू कलर आ जाता है, तो हम बोलते हैं कि हाँ जी, ब्रेड में स्टार्च है, बिकॉज स्टार्च reacts with potassium iodide and it forms a blue colored substance. So this is an experiment and you draw an inference. So that is what you are going to do here. You are going to make some observations, and when you make those observations, you will understand some things out of it. But what kind of observations? हम क्या study करने जा रहे हैं? That is next thing what you have to understand. So first of all, दो चीजें समझनी है कि ये प्रोजेक्ट आपके लिए बहुत फायदेमंद है, आपके स्कूल के लिए बहुत फायदेमंद है, बिकॉज आप एक तो आप नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हो इस प्रोजेक्ट के थ्रू. दूसरा, सेल्फ लर्निंग मोड होगा. यू विल लर्न ऑन योर ओन, यू विल मेक ऑब्जर्वेशंस ऑन योर ओन, and then you will also learn how to manage those observations, how to catalog those observations, how to prepare a project report, and also how to draw some inferences. This is basics. But what kind of observations? Our project, as you know, our project title is how to keep our ecosystems healthy. So before I go into how to keep our ecosystems healthy, we must understand what is an ecosystem. Can any of you tell me what is an ecosystem? And why should we be concerned about our ecosystems? Can any of you tell me what is an ecosystem? कोई भी मुझे बता सकता है क्या इकोसिस्टम क्या होता है? Yeah, anyone can unmute and answer.
Yes, come on, children. Reply. What's an ecosystem?
Okay, if you don't want to reply, it's okay. See, if you look at the textbook definitions, an ecosystem is any area where there's an interaction going on between the.
Ma'am, can you share the screen?
Between.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Should unmute and say, children.
Ma'am, an ecosystem is a geography. Ma'am, an ecosystem is a geography area, ma'am, where plants, animals, and other organisms, as well as weather, work together to form a bubble of life.
Absolutely fine. So please mute yourselves. We'll have questions towards the end. Otherwise,
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, Manya. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and the ecosystem is the structural and functional unit of ecology where I can say the living organisms interact with each other and the surrounding and either their environment.
Absolutely perfect. Anyone else? Yeah, Manya, you have almost reached there. You said that ecosystem is an interaction. It's an area where there's an interaction going on between the biotic communities and their abiotic environment. So environment is interacting with the organisms. Organisms are interacting with the environment. Environment is affecting the organisms, so are organisms also affecting the environment. But one important thing which you have missed out is that the time and space has a relevance here. So any interaction would be dependent upon the time and space. See, for example, if you're trying to study interaction in Yamuna Vihar in an ecosystem, in the month of January, it won't be same in the month of same site. It won't be same in the month of, say, August, because environmental factors have changed. Because environmental factors affect the functioning of the organisms. Environmental factors affect the growth. Environmental factors affect the seasonal cycles. So time and space has a lot of importance when we talk about ecosystems. So your definition would become complete when you say that ecosystem is a set of interactions at a given time and space, interactions between the biotic communities and the abiotic environment at a given time and space. Now, the second thing is, why should we be concerned about ecosystems? First of all, we have understood that in ecosystems, there is an interaction going on between the biotic components and the abiotic environment, right? So what are the biotic components? All organisms, irrespective of their taxonomic affinities, irrespective of whether it is large or small, whether it's a plant or an animal or a bird or an earthworm or a frog, they are all entities. They are all biological organisms, right? So biotic components are varied. There are so many of them. There is immense diversity of organisms. Even there are so many in the soil which we have not identified. So, and the abiotic components include the water, wind, air, sunlight. So all, for example, koi plant grow kar raha hai, that growth of the plant is affected by the availability of water in the soil. Growth of the plant is affected by the temperature. Growth of the plant is affected by sunlight. You know that light has a very important implication on the growth. So the abiotic environments are continuously affecting the organisms, their development, their adaptations. Even animals respond to the changes in the environment. Those animals which are found in colder regions have a lot of fat in their body. They have fur on their body, that is to keep them warm. So they're interacting with the environment, they're responding to the changes in the environment. That is one important thing which you have to understand, that biotic and abiotic components are continuously interacting, right? And ecosystems are diverse.
Ma'am, can you share your screen also?
I have already shared.
No, ma'am, it is not visible. Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Okay, please
So if
continue.
you look at the ecosystems, the size of the ecosystems can be small or can be large. जो हम क्यारियां घर में बनाते हैं, अगर हमारे सामने जगह होती है, तो वो भी एक इकोसिस्टम है. जो हम घरों में एक्वेरियम रखते हैं जिसमें मछलियां रखते हैं, दैट्स ऑल्सो एन इकोसिस्टम. अ फॉरेस्ट, बहुत बड़ा फॉरेस्ट इज एन इकोसिस्टम. बट अ सिंपल क्रॉप फील्ड, an agricultural field, a गेहूं का खेत, that is also a ecosystem. So the size of the ecosystem can vary because हर ecosystem, चाहे वो pond है, चाहे वो lake है, चाहे वो river है, चाहे वो forest है, there is an interaction going on between the living communities and the abiotic environment. And the size may vary. And another thing which may vary is that some ecosystems are natural. फॉरेस्ट इज अ नेचुरल इकोसिस्टम. प्रकृति में फॉरेस्ट अपने आप से बने हुए हैं. अ लेक, सम लेक्स आर नेचुरली फॉर्म्ड ड्यू टू जियोलॉजिकल चेंजेस. सो सम लेक्स आर नेचुरल, बट हम आर्टिफिशियल लेक भी बनाते हैं, मैन मेड लेक्स भी बनाते हैं. तो कुछ इकोसिस्टम्स नेचुरल होते हैं और कुछ इकोसिस्टम्स होते हैं मैन मेड, आर्टिफिशियल इकोसिस्टम्स। तो फॉरेस्ट एक नेचुरल इकोसिस्टम है, एक क्रॉपफील्ड एक मैन मेड इकोसिस्टम है, मैनेज्ड इकोसिस्टम है। A river is a natural ecosystem, but some ponds are man-made, they are artificial ecosystems. And as I said, the size, the magnitude also varies. Some ecosystems are only found on the surface of the land. So forest is terrestrial ecosystem, land पे होता है. Desert is a terrestrial ecosystem, वो भी land पे होता है. Grassland is a terrestrial ecosystem, but estuaries, offshores, rivers, they are all aquatic. Lakes, ponds, they are aquatic ecosystems. पर इकोसिस्टम चाहे बड़ा हो चाहे छोटा हो, चाहे पानी वाला हो या टेरेस्ट्रियल हो, हर इकोसिस्टम में बहुत सारे बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं और एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं जो आपस में इंटरेक्ट करते रहते हैं और दोनों में संतुलन बना हुआ होता है. There's a balance. We say that ecosystems are stable when there's a balance, when there's an equilibrium between the components of the ecosystem. Why we should be talking about these ecosystems is these ecosystems, चाहे वो forest है, चाहे वो river है, चाहे वो pond है, चाहे वो lake है, चाहे वो एक crop ecosystem है, it serves us. All ecosystems do lots of services. They render lots of services. They offer lots of services for us. And we are just one component of the ecosystem. हम ecosystem के राजा नहीं हैं, हमने लेकिन समझ लिया है कि हम इस ecosystem के राजा हैं. We are just one component of the ecosystem like other organisms जैसे हाथी, leopard, plants इस ecosystem का हिस्सा है, हम भी इसका हिस्सा है. लेकिन हमने इन ecosystem से बहुत सारे फायदे उठाए हैं, because of our intelligent brain or whatever you say. We have been able to
आज 500,000 के नोट बंद हो जाएंगे.
इम्तियाज सबको म्यूट कर लो.
ये कौन कर रहा है?
मोदी जी करते हैं, मोदी जी.
Please remove this person from the meeting.
Someone named Arosh's mic is open. Baby.
Please mute yourselves, everyone. Sahil, you want to ask something?
No.
So please do not raise your hand, and please rest of you can mute yourselves. Okay. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that these ecosystems give us lots of services. They give lots of services to us. What are those services? Who is this? बेटा प्लीज जो भी आप हो बाकियों को सुनने दो और हमारा टाइम खराब मत करो.
Mute
Okay, ma'am.
everyone.
I have muted everyone. Please listen to me.
Okay, so the various kinds of services which are offered by these ecosystems are, if you look at any of these ecosystems, whether it's a forest or it's a grassland or it's a pond, it gives us food. जो वहाँ के बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स हैं, चाहे वो गेहूं है, चाहे वो अनाज है, चाहे वो फॉरेस्ट में प्लांट्स है, दे आर सोर्सेज ऑफ फूड. या फॉरेस्ट के एनिमल्स है, दे आर सोर्सेज ऑफ फूड. So these ecosystems give us food, they give us timber. Forest से हमें लकड़ी मिलती है घर बनाने के लिए, फर्नीचर बनाने के लिए. So these ecosystems offer lots of services in the form of food, in form of shelter, clothing. In the forests, in the rivers, in some of the ponds, some of the aquatic plants, they also are source of various nutritional substances. न्यूट्रिएंट वाले प्लांट्स ग्रो करते हैं इन फॉरेस्ट में. वी कैन डिराइव मेडिसिन्स फ्रॉम द वेरियस प्लांट्स. and these medicines can cure various ailments, various hazardous diseases, various fatal diseases can be cured by the products from these ecosystems. So why we must know these ecosystems and why we must care, हमें क्यों परवाह करनी चाहिए इन ecosystems की, क्योंकि ये हमारे जीवन में कुछ ऐसे स्रोतों को देता है जो हमारे जीवन के निवारण के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. So the basics such as food, clothing, shelter, resources, they are generated from these ecosystems. ये तो हो गए जो प्रत्यक्ष चीजें हैं जो हमें दिखते हैं, लेकिन there are lots of services which these ecosystems do for us, like there would have been no rains if there were no ponds and lakes and seas and water, these trees and forests, because what happens is forests take up the groundwater, then there's transpiration, then there is condensation and rain comes back. Similarly, water bodies mein jo pani hota hai, that gets evaporated, then it gets condensed, and then it falls down as precipitation. So these ecosystems, whether they are terrestrial or they are aquatic, they help in recharging of the groundwater. The roots of the soil plants hold the soil together. Erosion nahi hone dete plants. Nahi to jo top soil hoti, it would all go and cultivable land would not be as productive as it is. Then some of the organisms which are present in these ecosystems, they help in natural cleaning of the environment. There are lots of animals which eat dead material, dead matter, and they do not allow the dead bodies to remain for decay. They eat the flesh, etc. So natural cleaning of the forest is done by these organisms, by predators, by scavengers. So many of the waste piles which you see are degraded by bacteria, and bacteria are also the components of these ecosystems. Bacteria decompose the waste. So we have to understand that कुछ काम तो वो ऐसा करते हैं जो हमें दिखता है, लेकिन बहुत सारा काम जो इस इकोसिस्टम में बायोलॉजिकल रिसोर्सेज हैं वो करते हैं जिसके लिए वो कोई पैसा नहीं लेते. They do it for free. They do cleaning for free. They do water charging for free. They help in replenishment, nutrient cycling for free. So हमें इन चीजों की कदर करनी चाहिए इन इकोसिस्टम्स की, क्योंकि वो हमारे जीवन में काफी सारा ऐसा काम करते हैं जो फ्री करते हैं, और कुछ ऐसी सर्विसेज देते हैं जिनके बिना हमारा जीवन will not be as smooth as it is. Our life would not have been as smooth as it is. The insects, the birds, they carry out pollination. They carry pollen from one plant to another. And thus, when the pollination takes place, then there is fruit set. We eat those fruits which are set by these insects by pollination. So we have to thank these organisms, the components of the ecosystem, and we must try to understand whether our ecosystems are stable, whether there is any kind of a disequilibrium or any kind of a perturbation in this. आज के डेट में अगर हम देखेंगे, most of the ecosystems, whether we are talking about the forest or we are talking about the lakes or rivers, दिल्ली में यमुना नदी है, आपके स्कूल से बहुत ज्यादा दूर पे नहीं है. Then पहले बहुत सारे एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड्स होते थे आपके शादरा लोनी रोड पे. अब देखो, वी हैव कन्वर्टेड, वी हैव चेंज द लैंड यूज पैटर्न. जहाँ पे खेत होते थे, जहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट होते थे, वहां पे अब हमने बिल्डिंग्स खड़ा कर दी हैं. और जहाँ पे ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन ज्यादा हो जाती है, वहां पे वेस्ट भी बहुत जनरेट होता है, क्योंकि ह्यूमंस नीड food, they need other substances, they will use polythene bags, they use various kinds of stuff which finally goes to these ecosystems only. They have we leave our waste at certain places, and then there are fly ash mounds which have developed in Delhi. आपने देखा होगा जब शास्त्री नगर के पास जाते हैं दिल्ली में, तो वहां पे एक बहुत बड़ा सा वेस्ट का एक पाइल खड़ा हो गया है. तो हमने इकोसिस्टम्स को डिग्रेड कर दिया है, क्योंकि हमने उसको पोल्यूट कर दिया है, हमने ओवर यूज कर दिए लैंड रिसोर्सेज को, हमने हर जगह कंस्ट्रक्शन कर दी, हमने पेड़ों को काट दिया ताकि हम कंस्ट्रक्शन करें, और हमने पानी के जो स्रोत हैं, जो पानी दरिया, छोटे छोटे पॉन्ड्स, जो छोटे छोटे ट्रिब्यूटरीज यमुना की थी, उनमें उनको गंदा नाला बना दिया, बिकॉज सारा सीवेज डिस्पोजल उनमें हो जाता है। तो इस कारण से जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स इन दिल्ली आर पोल्यूटेड, be it terrestrial or aquatic. We have polluted our ecosystem. So what when you pollute an ecosystem, what will happen? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना कि आपका इकोसिस्टम गंदा हो और आप स्वस्थ हो, आप भी उसी इकोसिस्टम का हिस्सा हो। So it is important to understand that if we do not respect our ecosystems, if we do not take care of our ecosystems, then we will also not be healthy. Ecosystem health is directly related to our health. आपने देखा होगा पिछले 7-8 महीने से हम लोग सब घर में बैठे हुए हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि कोरोना वायरस है, क्योंकि कोविड-19 है, जिसको हम महामारी कहते हैं। बट ये महामारी हुई क्यों? जो इकोलॉजिस्ट हैं, जो वाइल्ड लाइफ बायोलॉजिस्ट हैं, दे फील दैट it is because we have not respected our ecosystems, because we have not taken care of our forests, we have not taken care of our biodiversity. That is why ecosystems are, our ecosystems are not healthy, and that's why we are falling sick. Most of the viruses, most of the bacteria, they have hosts. They live in the hosts. They live in some animals, they live in some even plants. So, but most ये जो कोरोना वायरस था, इट हैड वाइल्ड लाइफ एज इट्स होस्ट, है ना। वुहान का मार्केट में, चाइना में वुहान मार्केट में वाइल्ड एनिमल्स में पाया गया ये वायरस, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेट मार्केट में। सो पेंगोलिन्स, बैट्स में ये था, और क्योंकि ह्यूमंस ने हैबिटेट्स को खत्म किया और इन सब एनिमल्स को खाना शुरू किया, तो इनसे इट जम्प्ड ऑफ फ्रॉम दैट स्पीशीज इनटू ह्यूमन स्पीशीज. So if there was a lot of wildlife available and humans had not exploited these wild animals, the virus would not have jumped from species. तो उन species में ये इतना हानिकारक नहीं था, लेकिन जब ये man में आया तो ये बहुत हानिकारक हो गया और विश्व में महामारी के रूप में उभर आया. So we have to understand that wildlife act as a buffer for these viruses, for these bacteria. And they will reside in some of the natural hosts. But if you will not, if these wildlife habitats are not available, they will come to the human habitations. So हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि जो humans हैं, उन्हें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि हम नहीं वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट्स को इन्वेड कर सकते. We should maintain our boundaries. We should keep our population in check. We should use measures, contraceptive measures to control population. Otherwise, these kinds of pandemics would be common in future, right? So it is important that we take care of the ecosystem health. We take care of our own ecosystems. We have, as I said, that we have degraded our ecosystems to large extent by, deforestation, by degrading the habitats of the wildlife, by depleting energy resources, and many other things. Now coming to what are the threats. So these are some of the threats. These are common threats all over the world, and these are more common in our immediate surroundings also, that the destruction of the habitats has taken place in Delhi. So what is happening? What is government doing? Government is doing lots of strategies. They have set up the natural in situ conservation strategies, and there are also some ex situ conservation strategies. In situ का मतलब होता है when we conserve wildlife and ecosystems in their natural areas, जहाँ पे वो है, habitats के साथ conservation of species. But when we take out the organisms from their natural habitats and bring them somewhere else and then do certain interventions, then it is called ex situ, बाहर. In situ, जहाँ है वहीं पे संरक्षण करना XC2 बाहर निकाल के संरक्षण करना. So these are the strategies which government of India is doing. So, but government of India would only be bothered about large areas, right? They have to take care of the entire country. They have to look at what are the problems, major problems. But who will address the local problems? Who will address the regional problems? Who will tell Shadra में क्या हो रहा है? Who will tell यमुना विहार में क्या हो रहा है? ये कौन बोलेगा कि लोनी रोड के आसपास इकोसिस्टम्स का क्या स्टेटस है, क्या हेल्थ है? Who will tell कि जो बाबरपुर एरिया है या आपके उसके आसपास के जो मौजपुर का एरिया है वहाँ क्या चेंजेस आई हुई हैं? Somebody from the region has to come forward, right? So the idea of this project was to bring people from local areas. People में कौन चूज कर सकते थे? People में बच्चे जो यंग स्कूल गोइंग स्टूडेंट्स हैं. तो फाइनल आइडिया ये है कि जो बच्चे स्कूलों में पढ़ते हैं, क्योंकि स्कूल तो हर कोने शहर के हर कोने में है, तो हम स्कूल के स्टूडेंट से बात करेंगे और उनसे कहेंगे कि आप अपने आसपास के जो इकोसिस्टम्स हैं आप उनको स्टडी कीजिए. ठीक है, आप अपने आसपास के इकोसिस्टम्स में देखिए कि बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स क्या है, एनिमल्स कौन से हैं, प्लांट्स कौन से हैं, हर्ब्स कौन से हैं, श्रब्स कौन से हैं, उनमें ट्रीज कौन से हैं, कौन से बेल हैं. तो आपने गिलहरियां मिलेंगी, पीकॉक्स मिलेंगे और बर्ड्स मिलेंगे. जो भी ऑर्गेनिजम्स आप स्पॉट करें उनको आप उनकी फोटोग्राफ्स खींचे और उनकी एक एल्बम बना लें. ठीक है, सो योर job is to select an area around your homes, around your housing societies, around your localities, around your school. तो school कुछ groups बनाएगा. The school will form various groups. In those groups there can be 5 to 10 students, and those students would take a survey around their own areas and look at what is existing in their surrounding areas, see what are the various components of biota there, look at what abiotic components kaise hai wahan pe, what is the condition of the soil, what is the condition of the water, how are people managing waste, and make a document out of it. Observe that this is the area, ye chota sa area maine liya Shadra, मैं इन 5 जगहों पे गया, मैं पार्क्स में गया, because parks are also ecosystems. They are managed ecosystems, man-made ecosystems. I went to a pond, or I went to a crop field, and I observed these things. These were the plants I observed, these were the animals I observed, and this is how the waste is managed. This is simple. These are the simple things which you have to do. You can make best use of your mobile phones by clicking good photographs and preparing this data. And once you do it yourself, you will remember it, and you'll also understand it, how people are managing waste, how people are treating their ecosystems. Are there any problems? Agar koi problem ho, to you can bring it forward. You can tell your municipal commissioner, you can tell your local bodies that the condition of the ecosystems is not healthy. And if the ecosystems are not healthy, the living population of humans won't be healthy. So you can correlate various things and study these. So you have to understand, बच्चों आपको ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि अपने आसपास के वातावरण, अपने आसपास के इकोसिस्टम्स की जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है वो आपकी है. और जब आप ये सब स्टडी करोगे और वो डेटा that data is going to go to the government of India. So you are contributing at this age to data which will be put in a repository in the government. So your knowledge, your information will be acknowledged. आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा. अगर आपने अच्छा काम किया होगा तो आपको you will be acknowledged at and your school will get recognition. So by volunteering to be a part of this project, which is very simple, कुछ नहीं करना आपने सिर्फ अब आसपास के इलाकों में जाना है, क्योंकि कोविड टाइम है तो आपने प्रिकॉशन जरूर लेने हैं. अपना मास्क लगा के फोटोग्राफ्स खींचनी है. फोटोग्राफ्स किस की खींचनी है? जो भी एरियाज आपको मिले, चाहे एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड मिले, चाहे पार्क मिले, चाहे ऐसे ही स्पॉट करें आप कुछ ट्रीज, वाइल्ड प्लांट्स, हर्ब्स, श्रब्स, उन सब की फोटोग्राफ्स, एनिमल्स, कोई वाटर बॉडी हो तो कोई फिश कैसे है, फ्रॉग्स, बटरफ्लाईज, स्क्वेरल्स, गिलहरी, एनीथिंग, कॉकरोचेस, whatever you spot, you have to enter enter that in the database and also click good photographs, and then also observe how people are treating water, how people are managing resources, and prepare an inventory, and that would also be analyzed. You can say at the end कि मेरे यहाँ तो अच्छा है इकोसिस्टम, स्वस्थ है इकोसिस्टम, मेरे यहाँ कुछ कुछ कमियां हैं, you can bring those forward, and then there would be people who would take note of those and make interventions so that some remedial measures are done to take care of the ecosystems if they are unhealthy. So ये एक सिंपल सी चीज है जो हम आप तक पहुंचाना चाह रहे थे, और आपको ये बताना चाह रहे थे कि आप इसके प्रतिभागी बनिए, आप हमारे साथ जुड़ जाइए और आप आगे आके इस प्रोजेक्ट को करिए, ताकि आपको एक्सपोजर मिले और आप कुछ सीखें भी, और अपने मतलब ऑन योर ओन सीखें इन द फील्ड, एंड also learn how to present data in a public forum and all those things. So this is what I have to say. तो हमारे पास कुछ वीडियोस भी हैं शेयर करने के लिए कि हमने इकोसिस्टम्स को कैसे ट्रीट किया है, how humans have impacted the ecosystems. Then we also have some videos about what are the government interventions. So how can we prevent ecosystem destruction? I'm just playing 1 or 2 videos for you.
मैम वीडियो नहीं आ पा रहा, वीडियो जहाँ चल रहा है ना उस पर जाइए अपने।
मतलब
वीडियो नहीं आ रहा, जहाँ पर वीडियो आपका यूट्यूब में चल रहा है ना उस स्क्रीन पर जाइए, तभी दिखाई देगा सभी।
मैं तो उसी स्क्रीन पे हूँ। आप चला दीजिए वीडियो में से।
मैम इसको मिनिमाइज कीजिए, जहाँ पर यूट्यूब चल रहा है ना उसको ऑन वहाँ पर ले आइए, इसको मिनिमाइज करके।
यूट्यूब पे ही हूँ। आ रहा है?
नहीं मैम नहीं आ रहा है, इसको मिनिमाइज कर दीजिए, और जहाँ पर आपका यूट्यूब चल रहा था ना वहाँ पर चले जाएंगे ना तो वहाँ तो दिखने लग जाएगा सभी को।
करो करो ना, ये शेयर करना चल रहा है।
एक बार क्लिक कीजिए लिंक पर।
ये सब ना आप खुद ही करो।
हाँ, लिंक पर क्लिक करेंगे ना तो फिर वो अपने आप यूट्यूब में चला जाएगा, तो इस पीडीएफ को मिनिमाइज करके वहाँ चले जाना। डॉक्टर साहब आप शेयर कर, हाँ यस मैम। मोनिका मैम अपने आप को अनम्यूट कीजिए, तभी आवाज आ पाएगा वीडियो की।
So, you know, that there are lots of problems in the ecosystems, which we just saw, and we have already discussed many of these problems. So what should be your contribution in protecting the ecosystems and maintaining the ecosystem health is something which you have to ask yourself. How can we contribute individually? How can we contribute at the institutional level? These are some things which you can think of when you study the ecosystems around your own areas. So you have to do this project. I will also show you one of the presentations, which was made by students, wherein they have made the virtual kind of a exhibition, and some of the photographs which were clicked by these students for preparation of the presentation. So if you can see my screen, can you see my screen?
No ma'am, it's not visible.
See, these are some of the trees which you would see at one point of time in Delhi. But now, because the ecosystems are degraded, because I told you that deforestation has happened, and many new plants have been planted which were not natives to Delhi, the entire ecosystems have changed in Delhi. The land use pattern has changed. Earlier, we used to have, I told you, some forest land, some tree areas where there was abundance of vegetation around Yamuna river, especially. There were lots of crop fields. But what you see today is concrete, and concrete. You will see houses with multi-storied buildings, etc. Even Yamuna floodplains, which was a buffer for the flood water, has been encroached upon. You see the construction has happened in those areas also. So, and many of the species which were earlier existing in Delhi are not seen now. These are some of the figures. These are some remote sensing satellite pictures which show how Delhi land use pattern has changed. Earlier, we used to have a lot of area which was under cultivable land and forest area, but everything is now red. Similarly, Noida, which is just adjacent to east of Delhi, there also, you have more of a building area now. Vegetation has reduced. Cultivation and other things have really, really gone down. Water bodies have receded. Similarly, in Ghaziabad area, which is again near to east of Delhi, because the neighboring surrounding areas have a lot of impact on where you live in. So these were some of the common trees which you would see everywhere, but अब कहीं कहीं पे दिखते हैं. Pilkhan, ficus religiosa, people, you would see Diospyros, because एक शहर में अगर colorful flowers दिखें, तो it adds some glory to the city landscape. But if you have only buildings, that makes things look dull. So these trees may make add beauty, they add color, they add luster to the area. So it is important that we have a lot of flora around us. Some of these trees would also give some products which were medicinally important, which were edible, shade, and most important thing, these trees were habitats for birds. Birds nest बनाते हैं trees पे. जब आप tree cover खत्म करते हो, तो आप साथ में birds की residing spaces खत्म कर रहे हो. Many birds are also not now seen in Delhi, which we used to see. So I'm just taking you through some of the beautiful trees which at one point of time were a common sight, but अब कहीं कहीं parks पे, इंडिया गेट के पास, या लोधी गार्डन में ये सब चीजें दिखती हैं. पहले ईस्ट दिल्ली में खूब होती थी. अब जहाँ पे अंबेडकर कॉलेज बना हुआ है, वो सारा एरिया यूज्ड टू बी abundant with these green plants. Animals बहुत होते थे. जहाँ जहाँ फॉरेस्ट होगा वहाँ एनिमल लाइफ भी होएगी, because these are their homes. So again, if you lose trees, if you lose plants, you are going to lose these. And what is happening? That now, because we have invaded, हमने इनके habitats को destroy किया, अब ये हमारे habitats में आ रहे हैं. So man-human conflict, animal conflict, man and animal conflict बहुत बढ़ रहा है, क्योंकि अब जो animals है वो अब forest से बाहर आके कुछ पेट एनिमल्स को उठाते हैं, कैटल को उठा के ले जाते हैं, या इवन बच्चों को भी उठाने के इंसिडेंट्स आते हैं. तो इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि देयर इज अ बैलेंस. सो ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन कैन नॉट ग्रो at an unprecedented rate. We have to control human population and leave some areas for these beautiful animals, which are important components of biological diversity, and they perform lots of ecological functions. Some of these organisms which you can see are keystone species. Their size may be very small, but they play a very important role in the ecosystems. So this is what is expected from you, that you look around your ecosystems and make a catalog, prepare an album, and share it with us, so that we get to know what is there near your school, near your areas, and add to the national repository. With this, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Yes, children, do you have any question to ask from ma'am? Kindly ask or interact with her. Come on, feel free.
If any participant have any query or question, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
They are hesitant in speaking.
No question, ma'am.
No question.
I have allowed to everyone to unmute your mic.
Ma'am, no question.
Ma'am, may I ask one question?
Yes, yes, you are most welcome. You ask, ma'am.
Ma'am, are non-living components of an ecosystem important or significant?
Yeah, what were you asking? Can you repeat your question?
Ma'am, are non-living ecosystem important?
What? I am not able to understand. Dobara bolo.
Ma'am, non-living components of an ecosystem, are they important?
Of course, water is a non-living component of an ecosystem. Isn't water important? If water is not available, or if there is shortage of water, or if the water is contaminated, if it has pollutants in it, and you irrigate the plants with same water, the contaminants will go to plants, and then when you eat those plants, then those contaminants will enter your body, and you will have harmful effects on various body parts. So it is very important that, if air quality is not good, air is an abiotic component, right? So if air quality is not good,
Yes.
your lungs get choked. So it's very important, very, very important.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, may I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Ma'am, can you please tell me about that ecological pyramids? Actually, I have read it somewhere, but I was unable to understand that.
So, yeah, ecological pyramids are representations of various trophic levels in an ecosystem. See, as I said, ecosystem has lots of organisms, right? मान लो एक ग्रासलैंड इकोसिस्टम है, ठीक है? उस ग्रासलैंड इकोसिस्टम में क्या क्या है? ग्रास है. Grass is eaten by frog. Grass is eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by snake. And snake is eaten by a vulture. तो एक इकोसिस्टम में इंटरेक्शन है ऑफ फूड. ये सारे कंपोनेंट्स है इकोसिस्टम के. ग्रास एक कंपोनेंट है, ग्रास ऊपर एक कंपोनेंट है, फ्रॉग एक कंपोनेंट है. ये बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स है, राइट? और एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स है सॉइल जिसमें ग्रास ग्रो कर रहा है, सनलाइट जिसकी वजह से ग्रास ग्रो कर रहा है. तो हम जो ये कंपोनेंट्स हैं उनको कैटेगराइज करते हैं. तो जो प्रोड्यूसर्स होते हैं प्लांट्स, दे फॉर्म वन लेवल. जो कंज्यूम करते हैं, प्राइमरी कंज्यूमर्स, दे फॉर्म अनदर लेवल. टर्शियरी कंज्यूमर्स फ्रॉम अनदर लेवल.
Just like the food web in ecosystem, right?
Yeah, pyramid is a representation. Pyramid कुछ नहीं होता. It's a representation of various trophic levels. Okay? It is the representation of various trophic levels in an ecosystem. So those are called as ecological pyramids. इनमें हम number of organisms को लेते हैं या biomass को लेते हैं. See, I am sharing my window.
Anybody have any question?
See, if you look at this, can you see?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
Yes,
Can you see
ma'am.
my window?
Yes, ma'am.
So here,
Yes, ma'am. Your window is visible.
so see here you have an pyramid. You have grass, grasshopper, frog, snake, and eagle. So these are various components in the ecosystem. Grass is the producer. Grass is eaten by grasshopper, so it becomes the second level. Grasshopper is eaten by frog, third. When we represent these various components in the form of different bars, we call it as an ecological pyramid, right? Pyramid is a triangular structure. Yeah, any other?
I hope there is no question of any student.
Okay, we can stop it here now. I think we can stop. Okay, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank each one of you for listening to me and for interacting nicely. I want to thank Miss Nahid ma'am and Sumi ma'am and the government school principal and the students of the government school and particularly Lovely Public School for being there and understanding what are the expectations from the students. And I request the teachers, principals, and the students to come forward and become a part of this project. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your detailed talk on the ecosystem. It has definitely helped us to upgrade our knowledge and our students as well. And most importantly, you have suggested and guided in a very nice manner how to play an active role in maintaining the health of the ecosystem. So I'm sure our students have got benefited. We too have become aware and feel connected with you and with the ecosystem with your talk. Thank you very much, ma'am. And one of our student also wants to thank from the student side to you, ma'am, kindly. Tanishka, can you hear me? Yes, Tanishka Khandelwal. Got disconnected.
I am allowed to, Kanishka ma'am.
Yes, allow Tanishka Khandelwal to speak.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
wants to thank. Please thank ma'am.
Before Tanishka, I would also like to thank you so much. Everybody has joined, and I'm sure we will benefit from the detailed, very minute things that ma'am told us. It was really very, very interesting. And I would like to also tell you that last year also we participated in this project, and we also did the this research work and was submitted also. And if means this things get comfortable, we will also in future also we will do this project and really try to help the nation worldwide also. Whatever best we can do, we will definitely do. Thank you so much, ma'am. Really, thank you so much. And Dr. Kakku also, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes, Anishka, now you can continue.
Special thanks to Dr. Kakru Sahab. So he's the connecting link and he guides and takes us and is so supportive and
Yes.
he helps us in every way. At any time, he's available whenever we want any help from him. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Tanishka.
On behalf of Lovely Public Senior Secondary School, all the teachers and students, I would like to convey my warm thanks to the resource person, Dr. Monica Kaul, the Assistant Professor Botany working in Hansraj College of Delhi University since 20 years. She is the author of the book Fun with Botany, which is made for school students for Vigyan Prasad, DST Government of India. She is the co-author of the book on plant reproductive biology and she has written many research articles. Her immense knowledge and experience has benefited all of us and inspired us to take steps to protect our ecosystem. I would like to thank ma'am and her team for taking this wonderful session and which gave us a lot of knowledge and information about our ecosystem and environment. Thank you, ma'am.
Hallelujah. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good day,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kakru.
Thank you.
We are very, very thankful to you.
थैंक यू गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स के बच्चे जो भी आए थैंक यू इम्तियाज क्लोज कर दो
Can I end the meeting?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, IT team also.
Thank you, IT team. Yes, same.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for conducting so well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.